everyone, welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 125. And to tell you a little bit about me, my name is Anisha. I'm from India and I have been a teacher here for I think more than 3 years now. And I'm also a psychologist. I am a mindfulness meditation teacher and an aligned life coach for women. So that is a little bit about me, and I would love to know, a lot more about you. Like, where are you from? Are you joining for the very first time, or have you been here before? Hi, Caitlin. Yay! So happy to have you here. From the start, it is always such a joy to be, with you. And Caitlin is joining us from Hudson Valley, New York. Wonderful. And Sumit says, Hi Anisha. Hello Sumit. Welcome. Okay. So, anyone else who feels like dropping in a hi, you can. And if not, that's perfectly okay as well, because I know a lot of people, are doing some other stuff along with the lives, which is perfectly fine. I am just honored that you chose to spend your time with me. It means a lot. And before we continue, I would really appreciate like a confirmation from you guys, as in, like, is my audio and video fine for you? I've made a little adjustments with my audio, so can you guys confirm? Is it okay? Is the volume lower? Is it getting cut, or is everything fine? Thank you, Sumi. Thank you for the confirmation. Appreciate it. Okay. Thank you, Caitlin. I'm glad that it sounds great. Thank you. Okay. So, is anyone here also who is joining for the very first time in this live? So is anyone here who is here for the very first time? So you can like type in the comments to let me know. Because if there is someone new, then I would like share with you what we do here and the overview of this live. And if everyone is just coming around, the regular ones, then we can begin with the live. So yeah, let me know if you are new here. Okay, seems like most people here are regular ones. Wonderful. I am so happy that you guys are getting some value out of it and you're coming back for more. And if anyone is new but can't type, then just to touch upon it, what we are going to cover today is we are going to first go into a meditation of about like 15 to 20 minutes, and then we are going to from that state of feeling grounded and centered, we are going to tap into some wisdom, some message. We are going to receive that message that wants to come to us, and we're going to do that using a wheel of wisdom. So we're going to spin that wheel. The wheel is going to choose a book for us randomly, and then I'm going to play a game where I ask you guys to choose some numbers, and then we will do a reading based on that. Okay, so this is just I'm just touching what we're going to cover, and I will share more details as we reach each part. Okay. Hello, Lisa. So happy to see you here. I look forward to seeing you, on the weekends. So thank you for joining. Okay, so now let's start with the first part, which is a meditation. So for those who are new here, what we do meditate upon is um, we go into meditation to really soak in the wisdom from the quote that you must have seen when you opened this app. When you opened Insight Timer app today, you might have seen a quote on their homepage. So what we're going to do is we're going to sync, sorry, we are going to open our subconscious mind and let that wisdom sink in, the wisdom that is right in front of our eyes, and we are going to meditate upon that. So now my question is, are you guys ready for a meditation? Are you guys in a quiet space or wherever you feel like meditating? And if you are ready, you can let me know by typing ready in the comments. and then we will begin with the meditation. Wonderful, Lisa is ready. Thank you, Lisa. Oh, sounds cozy, Caitlin. Caitlin is ready with crochet and incense. Beautiful, love the atmosphere there. Okay, Sumit is ready as well. Wonderful. So, begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can choose to lie down or sit up, whatever your body needs right now. As you begin to settle into this posture, you notice your eyelids getting heavier and heavier. So, feeling the heaviness setting in your eyelids until they gently close all the way on their own. Let them close all the way down, letting go of the effort and feeling your eyes relaxing in the sockets. Let them rest there. Knowing that you can return back to full attention whenever you need it, you allow yourself, you allow yourself to relax fully, to rest your awareness on your breath. Noticing the air flowing in and out. The cool air entering your nostrils and a slightly warmer air leaving you. Continue to observe your breath like this, feeling the air flowing in and out, allowing your body to let go of any tension that you might be holding on to. Allow your mind to let go of all the worries that have been consuming your day. Simply resting physically and mentally. Feel the relaxation doubling exhale. Today we are going to meditate upon and absorb the wisdom from a timeless quote by Hermann Hesse. The quote says, "The bird fights its way out of the egg. The egg is the world." The bird fights its way out of the egg. The egg is the world. This quote uses this image of a bird getting out of the egg to explain the deepest processes of personal development and of finding your true self. It speaks to that idea of becoming who you are meant to be. So, becoming who you are meant to be requires a certain amount of struggle and the necessary destruction of the life that you once knew. This quote reminds us that the pain we feel when we are changing, the emotional struggle of making a big move, leaving a bad relationship, or starting a difficult but new chapter of your life, is not a sign that there is something wrong with you. Instead, it is a sign that you are breaking free. You are breaking free from all those limitations and becoming who you were meant to be. So, in today's practice, we will open the door of our subconscious mind and plant the seed of wisdom within it. And then we are also going to nurture the seed of wisdom using affirmations. So let's begin. In a moment, I will count from 5 down to 1. With each number that I say, you will find yourself drifting deeper and deeper into a peaceful and receptive state of consciousness. 5. Feel your forehead softening. 4. Your jaw unclenching. 3. Rolling your shoulders back, loosening them. 2, noticing your arms and legs are getting heavy. Feel them sinking deeper and deeper into the surface beneath you. 1. A soft wave of relaxation is washing over your entire body. Every cell of your body is now at complete ease. And as you arrive here, you find yourself standing at the door of your subconscious mind, which is wide open. As you look inside the door, you see a vast and fertile ground in front of you, where this piece of wisdom can take root and continue to grow within you. So visualize yourself planting the seed of wisdom into that fertile soil of your subconscious mind by repeating the quote again after me. The bird fights its way out of the egg. The egg is the world. See the seed beginning to take root in that soil. From this point on, you will let go of all the outside noises and listen only to my voice. I will now share a few affirmations with you. Each one is like a drop of nourishment for that seed that you have just planted. I will repeat each affirmation 3 times. For the first 2 times, simply listen, as if you are shining the light of your awareness upon the seed. And on the 3rd time, you are invited to silently repeat that affirmation within your mind or out loud, as if you are watering that seed. In this way, the seed will receive everything that it needs: the sunlight, the water, and the love to take root and grow within you. So let's begin. Pain can be the key to set me free. Pain can be the key to set me free. Now repeat after me. Pain can be the key to set me free. Pain is not foe, it helps me grow. Through darkness, my light will show. Pain is not the foe, it helps me grow. Through darkness, my light will show. Pain is not the foe, it helps me grow. Through darkness, my light will show. Breaking apart is how light enters my heart. Breaking apart is how light enters my heart. Breaking apart is how light enters my heart. I am not breaking down, I am breaking through, becoming more of what is true. I am not breaking down, I am breaking through, becoming more of what is true. I am not breaking down, I am breaking through, becoming more of what is true. What feels like ache is how I awake to all the beauty I can make. What feels like ache is how I awake to all the beauty I can make. What feels like ache is how I awake to all the beauty I can make. I am not losing me, I am setting me free to grow into all I am meant to be. I am not losing me, I am setting me free to grow into all I am meant to be. I am not losing me. I am setting me free to grow into all I am meant to be. Letting go of before opens so much more. Letting go of before opens so much more. Letting go of before opens so much more. Change doesn't erase, it helps me embrace a fuller, freer face of grace. Change doesn't erase, it helps me embrace a fuller, freer face of grace. Change doesn't erase, it helps me embrace a fuller, freer face of grace. My courage grows with every test. I rise, I learn, I rest. My courage grows with every test. I rise, I learn, I rest. My courage grows with every test. I rise, I learn, I rest. When I rise, I help others realize. When I rise, I help others realize. When I rise, I help others realize. The light I claim help others do the same. The light I claim help others do the same. The light I claim help others do the same. Comfort once hid my wings. Comfort once hid my wings inside. Now I spread them far and wide. Comfort once hid my wings inside. Now I spread them far and wide. Comfort once hid my wings inside. Now I spread them far and wide. I am learning to trust each phase. My journey unfolds in perfect ways. I am learning to trust each phase. My journey unfolds in perfect ways. I am learning to trust each phase. My journey unfolds in perfect ways. Beautiful. With every affirmation that you repeated, a new leaf appeared upon your plant of wisdom. And each time you will repeat this whole meditation, this plant will grow into a big tree of wisdom, whose roots will continue to ground you and whose fruits will nourish you, will nourish your life in every season. But for now, let's return back. So, in a moment, I am going to count from 1 up to 5. At 5, you may choose to open your eyes, feeling refreshed, peaceful, and ready for the day ahead. Or you can choose to drift into a wonderful and peaceful sleep if that is what your body needs right now. 1. Bringing your awareness back to your body, wiggling your toes and your fingers. 2. Feeling the air touching your skin. 3. Becoming aware of the sounds around you. 4. Taking a fresh, nourishing breath. 5. Opening your eyes whenever you feel ready, or alternatively, you can let them continue to be closed if you want to drift into a peaceful sleep. Welcome back. If you feel like hydrating yourself, you can do so. Thank you for all the lovely hearts that are flowing in. I receive your love with an open heart. And I will go back to the comments just in a second. First, let me say this because I see that new people have joined in while we were meditating. So I want to let you know that in case you guys joined late, or in case you guys, missed the meditation, then I will share towards the end of this live where you can find this meditation and other meditations as well. Okay. But for now, I'm going to just quickly go through the comments, and then we will go to tap into that wisdom, because now our vibrations has been raised. We are, more centered after the meditation. So we will go and spin the wheel so that we can receive the message that wants to come through for each and every one of us here. Okay, and if you guys feel like sharing your experience of the meditation, you're welcome to do that as well. It is always lovely to hear about your feedback, what resonated, what you liked most, any affirmation that you loved or you would like to carry with you. So yeah, feel free to share that as well in the comments. Okay, Robert says, hi from New York. Okay, so Bob from New York. Okay. Welcome. Happy to have you here. And Stephen says, good morning. That was very nice. Is that prayer or meditation available somewhere? Yes, Stephen, it is. And I will share with you towards the end where you can find it. But for now, I welcome you to the space. And I'm glad that you liked the meditation. And Caitlin says, wow, lovely. I feel centered and energized. Wow, such a lovely combination, Caitlin. I'm happy for you. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So now let us move on to the next part. Okay, there is another comment. Pav says, hi from southeastern Massachusetts. The meditation provided so many affirmations of the growth I'm undergoing. I am so happy, Pav, that it resonated with what is happening in your life, and know that those seeds have been planted in your subconscious mind, and they have been nurtured as well, and they will continue to grow. So maybe you can choose one affirmation from that whole thing that we did, whatever resonated most, and keep on repeating that more and more, so that you remember this piece of wisdom, so that it gives you the strength or the faith or whatever it is that you need at this point of your life. And thank you for sharing your experience. Joanne says, good morning from California. Welcome, Joanne. First time with you. Thank you very much. I am so happy that this was going on your screen, and you were like, okay, let's check this one out and let's stay for a while. So thank you for being here, and I hope that you do receive something of value from this live today. Okay, so now it's time to move on to the next phase of this live, which is our Wheel of Wisdom. Okay, give me a second to show you. So this is our Wheel of Wisdom, and this wheel contains the name of 31 books, 31 transformational books that I have came across in my own journey of healing and personal growth. And now we are going to tap into the wisdom from one of these books. Oh, okay. Hi, Amelia. So happy to have you here again. Okay, Amelia says, good morning, good people. I am grateful I was able to make it to today's meditation. Comfort once held my wings closed, now are open and I soar. Oh, I love that. Thank you for making it, bringing your own flavor to it. And everyone else, you are also welcome to mold the affirmations in any way that they resonate most with you, you know. So, thank you for sharing one more beautiful piece of affirmation in this space, Amelia. And um, and I am grateful as well that you did made it. You know, I look forward to having you in each session. Okay, so I was telling you about the wheel. Um, so what was I saying? Yeah, I mentioned what the wheel is about, and now, before we spin the wheel and receive that message that wants to come to us at this point in our life, you know, from the universe, God, divine, spirit, ancestors, angels, whatever you want to call it, we are going to set an intention so that we receive what we need most right now. So, for that, I invite you guys to take a second and bring to your mind what it is that you would like to receive some guidance on. So, it can be anything specific that is going on in your life, or if nothing is going on, you can also set an intention that may I be open to receive the guidance or the wisdom that is for my highest good. So, something like that. So, take your time to think of something specific or set this intention to receive the message for your highest good. And once you have thought of something, or once you have set this intention, let me know in the comments by typing ready so that we can spin the wheel and the wheel can choose a book for us. And also, if you cannot type, you can always press the heart somewhere here to let me know, because I know sometimes people are doing something else. So, yeah. Okay. So, Lisa and Emilia have thought of something, and we also got some hearts. Wonderful. So, now, whatever you thought of, hold that in your awareness as we spin this wheel. Okay, Jess, Pav, Sumit, everyone is ready. Wonderful. Okay. So, yeah, holding that thing in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Okay, so the book that came for all of us is Mindful Discipline, a loving approach to setting limits and raising an emotionally intelligent child by Shauna Shapiro and Chris White. So, again, with this book, I do not have a child myself, but I read this book because I thought of it like reparenting myself, learning how to be with my inner child again. So that was the intention when I read that book. And if you also do not have a kid of your own, you can think of whatever comes through this book as a way of being with yourself, because we most of us didn't received what we needed to become emotionally intelligent. We were never taught emotional intelligence or the basics of that in school. So this is our time to learn something new. Robert says, may I be authentic self, may I be my authentic self and be non-reactive to any criticism. I love how you put what you needed guidance on in terms of an intention. Love it. Thank you, Robert, for sharing it with us. Okay, so give me a second to open the book and see what is the piece of wisdom that wants to come through. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm choosing some numbers so that we can play a game. So, my beautiful, lovely people, the instruction for this game is that in a moment from now, I am going to ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers, okay? And I do not want you guys to rush at all. Instead, I want you guys to take your time and see which number is coming up for you. It can be, something that you see. It can be a number that you hear. It can be like a gut feeling, when you go through the numbers. It can come in any way. So just be open and notice what is the number that is coming up for you. And then I would share with you guys, once you share the numbers with me, I will go through your comments and choose a number that I am feeling most called to. So, in this way, we will get to tap into that collective wisdom. We will get to tap into each one's intuition so that we receive the message that would benefit all of us here. Okay, so I invite you guys to choose a number between 30 to 171. Oh, okay, I wrote just 71, but yeah, it is 171. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Sumit. Interesting way of putting the number. Thank you, Johanny or Joanne. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Is the first one right or second? Or maybe I'm totally wrong. Like, is it Johanny or Joanne? Oh, there is another Joanna. Okay, I feel like I'm completely messing up your names. But yeah, if you feel like typing the, how to pronounce it, you can do so, okay? Thank you, Lisa, Mariana, Pav, Joanna, I think, yeah. Mm, Johanni. Okay, it's German. To be honest, I do not know how to pronounce like a German name. But I so appreciate you being here. Thank you, Patricia, for sharing a number. Thank you, Emilia. And you guys have beautiful names. It's just I'm not able to pronounce them right, maybe. Okay. So, anyone else who would like to share a number? Okay. So, let me go through all these numbers and see which number am I feeling most called to. A lot of double numbers today. Okay. So the number that I am feeling most called to is 69, and I am glad that I'm pronouncing your name just fine because I was nervous about that once I chose the number. Yeah, but okay, so the number is 69, and the number has been chosen by Joanne. I don't know. I am sorry if Yeah, but okay, but yeah, it's your number. Okay, let's go with 69. Let's see what wants to come through that page. Huh. I need to check after this that how to pronounce a German name, and Okay, 69. So, okay, so there are on this page, I see the key principles of mindful discipline. So, there are certain points, and the first point, the first key principle of mindful discipline is focus on long term development more than short term compliance. Second principle is be intentional yet flexible and pragmatic. The third principle is understand principles rather than memorize techniques. Fourth principle is use the models away from your child. Trust your intuitions when with her or him. Then the next principle is model discipline more than you demand it. Next principle is trust differences in style. The next principle is don't sweat the small stuff. And the final principle is trust your child's developmental process. So, give me a second to see if there's an explanation of it as well. Okay, yeah. So now the previous paragraph was like touching on these points a little bit in a vague form. So the author says that the best way to help your children grow into their full potential is to take the attitude that we are growing up together. We have as much to learn as they do. With this attitude, we focus first and foremost on enjoying our children in our brief time together. And we aim to arrange our lives in a way that will best support our collective happiness and growth. So we are not the one who knows everything. We are also at the same time learning to be a parent. And sometimes, like, not from my own experience, but from the experience of my clients and other people I see, that they're very harsh on themselves, that I'm doing this wrong, I'm doing this wrong, or am I not a good mother, am I not a good father. But it is important to remember that you know just like they are growing, we are also growing, we are also learning to be a parent. Even if you're doing it for the second time or the third time, then also it is different with every the dynamics, the person, the relationship with that other child is different, and you are learning to be a different kind of a parent, or to deal with that particular child, or to grow together with that particular child in a different manner. Yeah, Fab says collective happiness and growth. Exactly. So we are not here to teach them something, we are here to grow together. That kind of humbles us down. Rather than us being the all knowing parent and being the person in the room with our child who is always right. We might also be wrong sometimes, but we are learning and we might make mistakes, and then we will learn from them and grow. Um, so the author says, we proudly assume our natural position in the order of things. We are not the creators or sources of our children's gifts and developing capacities. We are the gardeners supporting the dynamic intelligence of life. I love that. That they are intelligent enough. Their bodies, their whole system is so intellectually, is so beautifully designed. and we are just nourishing it, nurturing it. They have the potential like the seed, and we are just providing the right kind of environment in which that seed can flourish. We aim to provide the nourishment that life needs to do its work, needs to do its work. We recognize that life has chosen us to be this child's parent for our gifts as well as our shortcomings. So, remembering that, not just for what we can do, what we are good at, we have been given this beautiful child, but also for our shortcomings, because that, just as we, tapped into the meditation, that the pain, the suffering can also be a portal to grow, to learn, to, discover our own true self. And it can be a portal for your child as well, maybe in future when they might have to go to therapy, for example, then they would, you know a certain beautiful thing might get revealed from it. So do not be afraid to make mistakes, and do not over focus on them. Even if when it comes to dealing with yourself, being with yourself or reparenting yourself, that do not be afraid of doing things wrong. Do not put this heavy pressure on your shoulders to know everything right now that you are an adult, because no adult knows all the right ways to do things. We just think they do, and we have grown up thinking that way, or at least as a child we used to think, that since they are the authority, since they are the one keeping us alive, they know things, how to do things, what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. And that is not the case. Now that we are adult, we realize that we are still figuring out life. Every adult is also still figuring out life. So taking away that pressure, whether you are a parent or whether you are the one reparenting yourself, taking away that pressure of having to know every single thing, having to know the right way to do things, the right things to say every single time. And once you take away that pressure, you know then okay, there was this other thing that slipped my mind. What was it? um yeah, and just enjoying, just like the author says, enjoying your time with your child, this limited time that you have. You also have a limited time with yourself, in life. And just, being with your inner child, letting just, being there with that inner child, letting it know that you love every single part of you, because those parts are usually formed when you were little. So that is why it is right to call those parts as little ones. And you love them, and you also do things with them, like, because they are within you. So you allow yourself to play, to do things that that little one like, so yeah, like, just hang out with your child, whether it is uh, a one in your physical world or your inner one. So yeah, that is what came up for me from this reading. And if anything came up for you, or if it resonated with any one of you, or especially, to the person who I chose, whose number I chose, feel free to share that in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts and everything. Okay. Pab highlighted the part that, that Pab loves. So, dynamic gardens of dynamic of life. Love that. Yeah. Robert says, our children just want us to love them and be ourselves. Exactly, because as we, as this world is developing and there is so much access to information today, there is so much advice on right parenting, and sometimes, or most of the times, it is easy to doubt ourselves, especially for the parents to doubt themselves. Am I doing things right? Or, like, I did that wrong, and then feeling guilty about it, and, just going into that whole spiral and overcomplicating things, feeling confused and everything. But to the basics, when it comes, it is that your job is to keep your child safe, And as much as it is in your control, especially at least the small ones that is in your control, and to love them, to let them know that no matter what happens, that you will love them. So yeah, just coming down to the principles, and the initial key principles that I wrote, there was a line in that do not focus on the techniques. So do not focus on all these different advices, but come down to the principles, come down to the foundation, come down to the basics, that your job is to love them, to protect them. That's it. And there is everything around, and just see what resonates with the kind of mother or father you want to be and apply it. And if it doesn't, then you know because you are going to make mistakes, you have shortcomings. So yeah, just try to do what feels right, what aligns with you right now, and that's it. Okay, so Robert says people love us, and that include children's for our flaws. Exactly, um, we we don't relate so much to the person in a room who seems to be perfect, who has all this figured out. We do not seem to love that person who is like, I know everything. We think that person is arrogant, who says that I'm perfect, I do not have any weaknesses, I do not have any flaw. So our flaws, our shortcomings, what we think actually make us not belong, are the ones that make us belong with other people, that draws that connection. Because you also have some flaws, and I too have some flaws, and we are working on it in our best way possible. And we are also you know sharing our gifts and doing the things that we are good at. So yeah, we are a vibrant mix of all of these different things. So your flaws are do not make you any less, do not make you any less whole. And yeah, it's okay to have them. Everybody have them, right? Pav agrees with Robert as well. Okay, so my dear ones, I hope that something resonated from this reading. And now let's move on to the next reading from another book. So give me a second to open the wheel again. So again, bring to your mind whatever it is that you need guidance on, something specific, or an intention to be open to receive that guidance for your higher good. Okay? And holding that in your awareness as we spin the wheel. So, the next book that came for all of us is Living Beautifully with Uncertainty and Change. Kind of hard, right? So, yeah, Living Beautifully with Uncertainty and Change. And this book has been written by Pema Chodron. Okay, my lovely ones, let's see what this book wants to offer us. So give me a second to choose some numbers so that we can play a game. So the page, like as I was scrolling to choose a number, the page I stopped on, the title for it was We Are Needed. Like a reminder that also wants to pop in, even if maybe I will choose the page, or maybe that page would come up or not. But know that the universe wants to say to you that you are needed. You are needed. Okay, so now I invite you guys to choose a number between 13 to 95. Again, no rush, just choose a number that is coming up for you, and then I will pick a number randomly out of those. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, Karen. Deb, Pav, Amelia, Gina. Beautiful. Okay. Anyone else who would like to share a number with all of us? Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Joanne. Okay, so now let me go through these numbers and see which number am I feeling most called to. Okay, so the number that I'm most feeling called to is 60, and the number has been chosen by Anne for all of us. Thank you, Anne. And thank you, Sumit, for sharing that number, and I did consider that. Okay, so let's see what is on page number 60. So, the heading for this is, okay, no, maybe there is no heading. Yeah, there's the paragraph. Okay, yeah. So the author says, when we label something good, we see it as good. When we label something bad, we see it as bad. We get so hung up on likes and dislikes, on who is right and who is wrong. Yeah, sure, Joanne. The name of the book is Living Beautifully with Uncertainty and Change, and the book has been written by Pema Chodron. Okay. And I also mentioned like a summary of all of this and all the readings in my group on Insight Timer. So I will share that towards the end in case you guys, wants to see the spelling and everything. Okay. Yeah. So we get so hung up on like and dislike, on who is right and who is wrong, as if these labels were ultimately real. The way we label things is the way they will appear to us. When we label a piece of earth as China or Brazil or US, it becomes an entity that carries strong emotional baggage. Yet, the human experience is an experience of nothing to hang on to, nothing that's set once and that's set once and for all. Reality is always falling apart. I love this line. I would use it as an affirmation for me that reality is always falling apart. In this fleeting situation, the only thing that makes sense for us is to reach out to one another. As we move in the direction of seeing more space around our fixed ideas, around our limited sense of self, around our notions of right and wrong, around the labels we are so invested in, The crack in our conventional way of experiencing life will get wider and wider. At that point, it may start to dawn on us that if we want to change the movie of our life, we will have to change our mind. I'm just feeling so expansive after reading this, just imagining this. And there are like no words that are coming for me, except I do think of, I think, two resources that I have that might help you. So, one might help you actually realize that you are not any of the fixed labels that you have placed upon yourself. And then another course to identify those exact labels so that you become aware of what might be limiting you. And then I have like a third resource that might help you. A particular lesson in that resource might help you let go of all these shoulds, what you should do, what you shouldn't, all the right and the wrong, all the good and the bad, and all of that. So would you guys be interested in them? Like, would you guys like me to share those resources with you here? So yeah, if you want, you can mention that in the comments, and if not, then we can move on. And Pap says, hail to widening the crack. Yeah. I hope that, whatever we are believing, a crack just, how do I say it? A crack start to begin to appear in that belief system, so that we can break free from that conditioning, so that we can break free from all those limiting beliefs, and so that the true self is revealed to us. Okay, so now, since no one is interested in the resources, I will move on to the next part of this, live. So I think, should we do another reading or not? Okay, maybe one more. Okay, let's do one more reading and then we will wrap this live. Okay. Anne likes it. Okay. Thank you, Anne, for sharing that. Okay. Now, again, hold in your mind whatever you need guidance on, or set an intention to receive, the message that is for your highest good. And holding that in your awareness, we're going to spin the wheel again. Okay, so since the author ended the previous book as the only thing that makes sense is to reach out to others, to love, to to make other people feel loved, and that was also the essence of our first reading with, a child. So the book that came up is How to Love, and the book has been written by Thich Nhat Hanh. So let's learn how to love. Okay, give me a second to open the book. Okay, give me a second, just a second. I'm going to choose some numbers. Okay, so the numbers are... Hi Phyllis. Phyllis says, morning from Vancouver, Canada. First time. Chill vibes here. Oh, I'm glad that you like the vibes here. And I welcome you to this space. Thank you for trying this out. And maybe that's why we decided to do the last reading for today. So you are just on time. Okay, Felice and everyone, I invite you guys to. Oh, that is lovely. How Robert is welcoming Phyllis to the space, and yeah, you are never too late. Maybe you are on the right time and you were received to, you were meant to receive this particular message. So let's see. Wonderful, Pab. Okay. So, for Felice and anyone else who joined us, later on, the instruction for this next, round is I would ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers, okay? And I do not want you guys to rush. Instead, I would like you guys to see which number is coming up for you and then share that in the comments. And then I will go through all your numbers and choose a number that I am feeling most called to. So let's tap into this collective wisdom. The numbers between which I invite you to choose are 18 to 110. Here you go. Thank you, Robert. Robert is pretty quick. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Sumit. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you, S. Yeah, Phyllis, the number for How to Love book 77. Okay, okay. You were pretty specific. Okay, yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Pav. Thank you, Leslie. Okay, anyone else who would like to share a number? Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Mendesa. And I am happy that you decided to drop in and check this out. And I hope Mendesa or um, I hope that firstly I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing your name right, and if not, you can correct me. Um, and yeah, I wish that you receive from this reading whatever it is that you need to hear most right now. Okay, so now let me go through all the numbers that you guys have shared and pick one. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for the confirmation, Mendisa. Okay, let's see. So, the number that I am feeling most called to is 74, and the number has been chosen by Pav for all of us. Thank you, Pav. Okay, let's see what is on page number 74 that wants to come for all of us. Okay, so the author says the heading for this is Nourishing Consciousness. So, our individual consciousness is influenced by the collective consciousness of our environment. We absorb and reflect what is around us. If we live in a place where people are angry and violent, then eventually we will be influenced by them. If we live in a family or community where there is a culture of being understanding and compassionate with each other, we will naturally be more peaceful and loving. Children growing up in such an environment will learn to be caring and kind. So I'm not sure if it, how much it resonated for you all. But as I was reading this, what was popping in my mind was, the practice of loving kindness, of metta, um, and you know, sometimes we are stuck in an environment that is negative. We are stuck in an environment that is, that is chaotic, or that is surrounded by negative people, and we feel like we cannot do anything much about it. And sometimes, there is a possibility to set boundaries in whatever manner that you can. Yeah, Amelia, it is right. Amelia says it's beautiful how all the three readings today connected. I love how, whenever that happens, when one reading weaves into the next, or all the readings as well as the meditation comes together and send us the message that wants to really come really strongly for all of us. Hi Nicole, welcome. Nicole says, greetings, beautiful Anisha. Sounds like I missed the session, but grateful I get to hear a bit. I am grateful to have you, for as much time as I can. And yeah, maybe you were meant to hear the last of these bits, and I'm glad that you dropped them. Thank you. And guys, Nicole is another wonderful teacher here on Insight Timer. So if you feel called to, you can check her out as well. I have been to her lives and they are beautiful. Okay. So what was I saying? Yeah. So sometimes when we are stuck in a situation where the environment is chaotic, or where people are negative, we can do things, there are certain small things that we can do, even if it feels like there is nothing in our control. It can be, it can be a major action of leaving the environment, or to just set a small small, like a smaller action of taking breaks, or leaving whenever it starts to get toxic for you, and to leave at that moment, just even to go to the bathroom, to take a breath, to regulate yourself, so that you can, so if the environment around you is not good, you can create a, nice nourishing bubble around you. And that can be a practice that you can do if you are stuck in that environment. You can, imagine like a bubble around you, and it is not stopping other people or those things to come in, but it is maybe just converting, for example, the stones into flowers for you. And you are in this nourishing, beautiful bubble that has everything that you need, and it feels like you are inhaling this fresh air. You're feeling the warmth of love that you might not get in the environment, but it is like your own warmth shining through, and getting reflected, like it is like a light that you shine, and it is getting reflected by the surface of the bubbles. So you can, um, start to imagine that. And just like the author mentions, that the collective consciousness impacts our individual consciousness, whether it is in terms of the whole world, or whether it is in terms of your own home, or your office, or whichever space it is that you spend your most time in. So so these are the small actions that you can do. And firstly, if your individual consciousness, changes in this manner, if you are bringing more love, if you are setting, kind intentions, or if you are sending out the wishes of loving kindness, you are sending out that beautiful energy into the world, then it might not seem like much, but it is impacting that collective consciousness. Because collective consciousness is basically made of those individual consciousnesses combined, and much more than that. But it is made of of that, and you are an integral and important part of that. And another thing that popped up in my mind was the message that that randomly came up as I was choosing the page numbers from this book, which was, you are needed. So the world needs you, even if you don't think you can make much of an impact, or even if you think of yourself any less, but still you are needed. This world needs you. Your existence matters in this world. So maybe carry this from this life, whatever, if you carry nothing, just remember this, that you are needed in this world. You are so needed. I love that. Oh, yeah, affirm that truth that I am needed, just like Pap did. And I love how you guys are saying this to each other. Oh, I love that energy. Okay, I missed a lot of comments. I'm going to go back to them. But yeah, it is. I just started to feel emotional as I was reading this, because it feels like to be reminded of that truth that we all know within, but the world just somehow made us believe otherwise, that you're not needed, that you're not worthy, that you don't have anything to offer to this world. But you have so much to offer to this world, not just in terms of what you do, what you have, but in terms of your beingness, how you be, what kind of a person you are in this world. And that is enough, because sometimes that can be a ray of hope in someone else's life, that you brought a smile on their face on their difficult day, and that turned things around for them, and that is enough. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, Pab says, nourishing environment, that is I have power to create for myself and others, of course with certain limits. Yeah, we do what we can, and the rest is up for this ripple that we send out to the universe, and then it is going to multiply, and it is going to impact, it is going to have such a bigger impact. That is why I always refer, I love this metaphor of a ripple. It reminds how a small stone, how a small action, how a tiny bit can make an impact in the whole water body. So I love that visualization, and that is what you are. Phyllis says, Nicole good now. She's another awesome teacher here from DC. Yeah, oh, okay. We got another fan of Nicole's here. And Phyllis is joining us for the very first time, Nicole. So it is lovely to have you, and I'm glad that you got to, you got to be in the same space as Nicole again here. Okay. Amelia says that footnotes. Hi Miss, welcome. You are needed, you are worthy. Heck yeah, you all are needed. Oh, love that. Love the energy. Yeah, we are. Joanne says, this is such a wonderful session. I am grateful to you and also to Insight Timer for offering these sessions around the world. Such a difficult time here in the US. Namaste. Yeah, and I too am grateful to be able to speak to so many people from different places of the world, and I'm sending each and every place, each and every person, each and every heart present in the space, peace, healing, and ease. Okay, let me see. Okay, Leslie is leaving. Leslie says, many thanks, Anisha. I have to go now. Have a good weekend and peace to all. Bye, Leslie. I hope you to have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for staying with us. It is always lovely to have you here. Okay, let's see. Nicole says, love how we all get to link in different ways on the app. Yeah, I'm very grateful to Insight Timer for that, and I love this feature of live, especially on Inside Timer. It is just, I don't know, it is just that feeling of expansiveness that I get when I was reading. That is the feeling, that I'm not limited by a particular geographical location. And that is what I love about technology and this place as well. Okay, so Meet says, I came across a Louis Hay affirmation on love, which I really liked. You are worthy of love, and it is already on its way to you. Oh, I love that. Ha, the visualization. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Sumit. Pap says, Joanne, it's been so powerful for my system. I am so glad I stayed in bed and rested and nurtured my spirit. I am glad too that you gave yourself that time that you so deserved, Pav. Nicole says, oh, Pav, that sounds amazing. Nicole says, Sumit, I would like to add to that. Love is who we already are, and it just needs to be revealed. And I love that addition. I love that reminder to that, to that truth that love is what we already are, and we are everything, not just love. We are every aspect of ourselves, every aspect that has been shown in this world, that everything is us and we are in everything. So Nicole, thank you for expanding it even more. Okay. So now I guess it has been, I guess, 1 hour 30 minutes since we have been hanging out together, which has been lovely. But it's time. All good things. Everything needs to end, right? So, for but there are two different ends of this life. First is for the ones who, you know, because there are two different type of people in this space. Ones, the first type are the ones who are regular, who have been here before, and who have stayed till the end. So for those people, you guys know what I'm going to mention next. So in case you are, you have some other work to get to and you would like to leave, you can, say goodbye and you can leave this, space. And I would love to have you in the next live whenever you feel, if you feel called to come up again, because I'm always grateful to see you here. And then there is second group that I'm going to just get to. First, let me read the comments. So Emilia says, I intended to sleep in today, but my dog woke me early. When I set aside my irritation, I realized you were on at that exact time. Okay, now I get it. Now I get the scenario behind why you were grateful to be here today. And I am as much grateful as, to have you in this space, Amelia. And I hope that irritation might have softened a little bit by the end of this, as we are reaching the end of this live. And thanks to your dog. Okay, Phyllis says, so thankful I caught this live with you all. Yeah, me too. It was lovely to have you here, Phyllis. And I would hope to see you in the next live as well. Nicole says, sounds like you owe the puppy beer a thank you, Emilia. Yeah, indeed. And I too, because of the dog, I was able to stay with you, spend more time with you, Amelia. Joanne says, when is your next live? So my next live is day after tomorrow, Joanne, around the same time. You might be able to see the card, so you can RSVP. Robert says, I have to go. Bye, everybody. Bye, Robert. Have a wonderful day. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Nicole says, okay, give me a second. Yeah, Joanne, the link should be up on your screen. Yeah, I hope it is visible, and it is. If it is not, you can check it out from my profile. Emilia says, yes, I gave him extra chicken nuggets. Yum. Okay, now he is having it still, Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, Nichols is the best puppy mom. And indeed, in fact, remember the first reading today was related to parenting in a way, and it can be parenting your child, parenting, reparenting yourself, or your pet, anything, anyone. Okay, so now coming to the next type of people, next group of people in this space, which are joining this space for the very first time. Firstly, I am grateful that you were like, okay, let's check this space out, and you chose to stay and spend your time with me. It means a lot to me. And yeah, and with you guys, I would like to share, some of the resources that I have for you guys. Thank you so much, Amelia, for this beautiful donation. Thank you for all these gifts that you have been sending my way. I really, really appreciate your, your support. It means a lot. Okay. Yeah, so I was mentioning the three places where you can find all of my resources in one place, so that it is easier for you to see all the things that I offer. Okay. And I have created these resources, pouring all my knowledge, my heart, my soul into these. And I'm hoping that the intention behind sharing these resources is that I want you to have something once this life has ended, to have something to practice, to go to help with whatever it is that is going on in your life. So I hope that any of the resources will resonate and will find its way to you. So, the first, and before I get to the resources, I also wanted to share one more thing, that in case you guys joined late, or in case you guys missed some part of this live or anything, then I also upload a summary of this live, and you can find the summary in my group on Inside Timer, which is, let me type the name of it. Yeah, so you can find the group either by typing it in the search box, or you can find it by going to my profile. This will open, like the home section would open, and when you scroll all the way down, okay, you will see at the bottom of this page a group known as Wonderful Beings. So this is my little community here, and it has enrolled like 99 members. So yeah, there are 99 beautiful souls in this little community of mine, and I am so grateful to have each and every one of them, and hopefully maybe you as well. So what I do here is thank you, Sumit. I am happy that you liked it. Yeah, I believe that there is so much wonder within all of us, and we forget that sometimes. So I call you guys wonderful beings. Yeah, Phyllis says we can bring that 99 to over 100 after this live. I am so glad that you want to join this, little piece of community of mine. It would be lovely to have you there, Phyllis. And Nicole says agreed. Beautiful name. Thank you, Nicole. Okay. Yeah. So what I do here is that after each live, within 5 or 10 minutes, I upload the summary of this live, including the type of meditation that we did, the names of the books through which we read, and the exact readings, so you don't miss out on anything. And apart from that, I also share like some updates, like a new track if it gets released, or if I have to cancel a live because of a reason that is not in my control. So yeah, I share everything in that group. So it is my way to stay connected and for you to stay updated with whatever is happening in my world. So yeah, so that is about that. And now coming to all the things that I offer. So the first out of the three places where you can find all of my resources in one place is just above this group, on the home page. You will find a section known as playlists. Okay, here. So I have created like 4 playlists by organizing all of my tracks into these 4 playlists. Okay, And um, the name of the first one that you see here is 21 Days Mindfulness Challenge. So it is basically, it includes 5 foundational practices at different lengths, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and like that, and an introduction, few introduction tracks that would help you understand what is mindfulness and all the myths around it and all the benefits of it in your real life, not just the research ones. So yeah, if you want to get started with living with more awareness, living more intentionally, consciously, mindfully, then you can start with this. Then the second playlist here is self-soothing techniques for difficult emotions. So this basically includes, healthy emotion regulation techniques, healthy nervous system regulation techniques that therapists or coaches recommend their clients to use when they are feeling emotionally overwhelmed or when they are out of their window of tolerance, meaning it becomes really difficult to tolerate whatever is happening inside. So these techniques are to help you lower the intensity to a manageable level so that you can, learn to, so that you can turn within and be with whatever is asking for your attention. And you cannot do that when you are feeling overwhelmed. So these techniques help you do that. Then the third playlist is for negative thoughts and limiting beliefs. So this basically includes the common negative thoughts and limiting beliefs that people get, stuck in. Like there's something wrong with me, I'm not good enough, I'm too broken to heal, or what if I make the wrong decisions. So yeah. Nicole says, love how you walk through your tracks. I may borrow that from you. You're welcome to. I'm glad that you like this approach because I know that all of us teachers really, pour in a lot and want to let these resources out so they reach the right people. So I, share all of them so that in case anything resonates, everyone here can apply that. So I'm glad that you liked it. Okay. Uh, yeah, so I was talking about this negative thoughts playlist. So if you are going through any of these thoughts, or if you know or you can save this playlist because I will add more common thoughts here. And I have included like 3 or 4 minutes tracks in this so that it is easier for you to listen to it and you feel not alone when you're going through these thoughts, and you leave with a mindset shift so that you feel hopeful and move forward. And the final playlist that you see here is Wheel of Wisdom, Pick a Meditation. So this particular playlist involves all the meditations that I have done in this whole series of Wheel of Wisdom, and this is episode number 125. And in each live we have done at least one meditation. So it includes all the meditations that have been released so far. Like, I'm releasing them in a sequence. Every Wednesday a new meditation comes out, and this one will also come out maybe next year based on the sequence. But yeah, you can check this out. And actually I've created this playlist like a game, and the instructions are here. So it is similar to what we do here in this live, because I wanted you to continue to, come back to your intuition, to ask it, to develop a connection with it. And how you do that is when you open this playlist, you close your eyes, scroll through this playlist until you feel like, yeah, this is where I need to stop. So you point a finger on your screen and then choose that particular track for you today. So this way your soul is basically guiding you that this is what you need most right now, this is what you need to be guided through. So yeah, so trust your intuition and play the game. So this is the first place where you can find all of my resources. The second place is so you can go to this profile again, my profile, and go to the courses page here. And here you will find all of my courses. Okay, so there are 7 courses that I have created for you guys. And I will not mention each of them here because it might be too time consuming for you guys. But I will just share what I have courses regarding. Okay, so the first course is regarding, identifying the common thinking errors, the ways of thinking that makes your life miserable in a way. And those are not some random things. They have been based in therapeutic approaches. So based on them, there are certain ways of thinking that do not serve us, and there are certain techniques for you guys that you can use to overcome them. So if you are interested in that, if that is what you're struggling with, you can save this course. The second course is regarding identifying your limiting beliefs. Remember, we talked about the labels and everything that we have placed upon ourselves. So if you want to actually see what is it that you believe about yourself that might be causing you to engage in self-sabotaging or feeling this resistance when you try to move towards what you want, and where did you get them from, so that you can break free. So if you want to do that, then you can save this particular course. And then if you want to learn techniques, especially from CBT, which is a therapeutic approach, to deal with any negative thought or limiting belief, then you can check out this course, because in that I've included different techniques as well as the basics of everything. So why is it important to work on your thoughts? Send big love and hugs to all. I'm out of town for advanced training, TM training. Yay. Thank you for all this. Thank you, Nicole, for joining us. It means a lot. I am glad that you decided to drop in despite you being busy with that advanced training, and I wish you all the best, really. And you too are an amazing teacher. Okay, yeah. So 5 more minutes and then we will end this live. uh, so yeah, let me share the course that I was mentioning here. You're welcome, Nicole. Okay, so maybe let's not mention every course again. So that was one course. The other one is related to how you can find peace and beauty and joy in your everyday life. And the other one is how you can accept your life when things are not going your way. So if that is happening for you right now, if you're having difficulty accepting, processing whatever is happening and moving forward from it, then you can try this one. And the final course that I have for you guys is how to stop chasing and start living. So these are all my 7 courses. This is the second place where you can find all of these things that I offer. And the third place is, and that I will mention very quickly, which is, again, you can go to my profile, go to the about section, scroll all the way down. So if any of the resources that I've shared with you up until now is not what you need right now, is not what you were looking for, and if you would like more personalized guidance or more personalized support for you for whatever is going on with you, then I am also like a life coach. So if you would like to work with me, then you can check this out at the bottom of this page, and here you will find a way to do that, to work personally with me. And also you will find like more additional free resources that I have created for you guys, and the recording of this particular live and the meditation that we did, and also a little bit more about my journey. If you want to know in detail what I went through, where am I coming from, and everything about me, then you can check that out here as well. So yeah, these are all the 3 places where you can find all of my offerings: the playlist, the courses section, and the about section. So I hope that something resonated with you, and I really appreciate you, everyone who stayed till the end. Thank you for listening to me so patiently, and thank you for tuning into this live, into this space. I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. You're welcome, miss. You're welcome, miss. And I hope to see each and every one of you day after tomorrow in the next live. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Laurie says thank you for sharing. You're welcome, Laurie. LJ says thank you, Anisha. Peace and blessings be with you all. Thank you for your lovely blessings, LJ. Emilia says thank you for sharing your light with us. Thank you, Emilia. I am It makes me so happy that, even though you know about all of these things, some of you are regulars and still choose to stay till the end. I don't really know why, but it means so much that you choose to give me that extra time. Okay, Lisa says, thank you so much, Anisha, for another wonderful live session. I am glad that you enjoyed it, Lisa, and it is always lovely having you here. Okay, bye bye. Take care.